Brian Kelly is the successful and very famous football coach at University of Notre Dame. He hardly needs an introduction, but there may be something about him that you really don't know, that Brian Kelly is a Laker for a lifetime. He was the head coach of Grand Valley's football team for 12 years and led the team to 3 national championship appearances and 2 national championships, the university's first ever. Brian never lost the touch with Grand Valley, and his generosity made the Kelly Family Sports Center a reality. He's a leader, a gentleman, a husband. He met his wife right here at Grand Valley, a father, and a friend to all of us. Please join me in a warm welcome for Coach Kelly. Coach.
Thank you. Thank you, President Haas, or as you're so affectionately called by your students here, T. Haas. I think it's wonderful that the president of a university has such a connection with his students. It just tells you about the leadership that you have here at Grand Valley State University. Trustees, deans, friends, family, to the parents of the class of 2019, this is certainly a memorable day, one to be certainly proud of. Above all, to the members of the graduating class of 2019, you're going to be applauding somebody else for the next 2 hours, so I think you should give yourself a round of applause right now. So take the time. Congratulations. You know, graduation ceremonies are some of the great traditions of our country. We had pomp and circumstances being played. We wore these gowns and certainly the hats that can be portrayed as great slogans or thrown in the air. You can add the fact that you even have these speakers that sometimes can go on long and sometimes boring tirades in front of you. We're talking about such a great tradition, though, and the audience has to be part of this as well. And so I would say that I know that some out here are a bit anxious, maybe a little bit distracted, maybe even hungover a little bit. But I can tell you this, I've done this quite a bit as a public speaker, and one of the things that I'm really good at is reading my audience. And a good speaker will know that he needs to be clear, concise, and to the point. So knowing my audience that a lot of those things are going on right now, I will be to the point. This will not be long and laborious, because I can tell you that I don't really recall the message that my commencement speaker gave me. I can't. But I do remember what happened after. And I know a lot of people, as they sit here today, are wondering what's coming up next. And that's really what my talk was entitled to really hit. The headline is grounded in Grand Valley because, as President Haas mentioned, I spent 13 years here. I've been in education, I've been a teacher for over 30 years. And those 13 years that I spent here were much like the years that you've spent here over the past 4 years, extremely formative. As President mentioned, I grew up here. I was given an opportunity at a very young age to learn and grow as a teacher, as an educator. Made some mistakes along the way and figured it out, because Grand Valley was a nurturing environment. There were great people. There were people that in this community allowed me to not be worried about failure, but focus on excellence. And you've been in that community as well. We share the same common denominator, that you have also been nurtured in that same regard. You've been allowed to make mistakes and learn from them. So you have the same opportunity now that when you move forward, you don't need to fear failure, because you've been grounded here at Grand Valley State in that opportunity with great people being around you to see that you're able to have a strong foundation. As I mentioned, I met my wife here, Pocky, We raised our family here. We even lived in Laker Village together. As I was commenting earlier, it's really the only time that having bunk beds is appropriate in a college campus setting. We lived there with 3 kids under the age of 4 years old on campus here. And I can tell you that the point is, Grand Valley State University, for me, is where I was able to find my why and what I wanted to do. And you too have found that here. You'll define it as you move forward, but let me define what that means. When you're in a safe and a diverse and challenging environment like you are and have been here at Grand Valley State University, you're allowed to really grow as a person and find out what your higher purpose is. And while I was here at Grand Valley State, I could find out my why. And that was that I wanted to spend my life developing young men to be the best they can be both in and out of the classroom. If it was just about, for me, winning football games, I would have done something else. And you'll find out that why as well. Because what you don't want when you move on is to be defined by your job. Your job is not who you are. It's what you're passionate about. And your passion will define your why on a day-to-day basis. And so being here at Grand Valley and why we can share this common denominator is that when you're at a place like Grand Valley, you can find that why and apply it to your life on a day-to-day basis. So some of the things that I have found that have guided me once I found my why that are important is that when I look at it as a coach, and I would like to just talk to you for a moment as a coach, is that you're prepared, you're ready, you're ready to go play. And I wouldn't worry about the opponent or what's out there, because that's not really what's important right now. What's important is that you prepared yourself. The environment here, the culture, the community, the faculty, the staff, the interactions that you've had on a day-to-day basis have prepared you to tackle what's in front of you. For you to worry or be concerned about what's out there is really not the important piece. The important piece is you're prepared. The preparation that you've had over the last 4 years have put you in a position that you can go out and do that and find out what your why is. I think some of the guidelines that I've always tried to keep in mind is that it's important that you keep a few things in mind as you move forward. I've always tried to think of some of the golden rules of life that was impressed upon me. One of the things that's helped me in my 30 years is to always look towards trust. And how do you build those things within the group of people that you're with on a day-to-day basis? And when I really break it down, when we go out there and we're prepared, I want to be able to trust the people that I'm around on a day-to-day basis. I think that that's absolutely crucial. So how do you do that? How do you trust the people that you're with on a day-to-day basis? I would say this, first and foremost, be who you are. Be who you are. Whoever you are, be authentic on a day-to-day basis. Don't try to be somebody else. I think it's so important in today's society that you walk your walk. Be whoever you are. I think that authenticity in today's society needs to be embraced on a day-to-day basis. Number two, I think is absolutely important as well, is that you need to have an empathy for others. Care about others more than just caring about yourself. I think if you show that true compassion for others, you'll gain the trust of those around you on a day-to-day basis. And I think the third thing that is important in gaining the trust of others around you on a day-to-day basis is really know your craft. And I know that we have a variety of different majors out here, but if you know your craft and your skill, you'll build that trust immediately with the people around you. The second thing that I would ask, and I don't want this to sound preachy, but these traditional values have guided me over 30 years that I think are important moving forward, is that I think it's so important today to be a great listener. And there's really three types of listeners. One, those that don't listen at all, right? They've already made up their mind. They don't want to hear what you have to say, and they just move forward. Two, those that listen but have already made up their mind, and they have kind of a fixed mindset on what they're going to do. They can't be changed at all. And three, those that listen. And those that listen, in my experience, are the ones that have been extremely great mentors to me and great leaders. I know that in my development as a head coach, I think one of my best skills is my ability to listen. And so I think those two things are so important as we move forward, as I said to you, you're prepared, but bring some of these traditional values with you as you go out into the world starting, in about 2 hours. Third, focus on process over outcomes. I know in today's society we get so focused up on, the end result and everything, what that number reads. And I can tell you that a lot of the success that I've had over my career and the teams that we've had, we focus simply on process. And so what is that? What does that really mean? If I can tell you this, if I thought about every single day winning football games at Notre Dame, I would have jumped out my window a long time ago. The pressures of the job that you will face on a day-to-day basis are immense. And so you need to think about process over outcomes. And so what I try to do and what we work on a day-to-day basis are what are the traits necessary for excellence? What are those traits necessary for that process to be effective so you can reach excellence? And the things that I work on a day-to-day basis with our men on a day-to-day basis is attention to detail. We work on attention to detail on a day-to-day basis. All the little things. Showing up early. Never being late. I would urge everybody here today, all of our graduates, how to make great first impressions is the attention to detail. To the level of how you show up to work, how you do all the little things on a day-to-day basis means a lot. So one, attention to detail. The second thing, what kind of attitude do you have? Having that great attitude on a day-to-day basis is a reflection on you and the environment that you will be in on a day-to-day basis. We want our people to have a positive attitude on a day-to-day basis. The third thing, an incredible focus. Focusing on what's important now. We have the acronym WIN, what's important now, and being focused on that on a day-to-day basis. And finally, grit. There's going to be good days and there's going to be some bad days. Can you fight through it? It's easy to hit the reset button today. It's those that fight through it over a long period of time, having ups and downs, and come through it on the other side that are going to have those traits that are going to allow them to have excellence down the road. Looking at the process over outcomes instead of just worrying about what is the number at the end of the day. As I've said, Grand Valley has prepared you. You have the tools. You have been in an environment that has given you the opportunity to grow. Find your why. Take these values with you. And along the way, work on these traits. And these traits of excellence will guide you. I'll leave you with this. John Fogerty's classic song, "Put Me in, Coach, I'm ready to play." No, I'm not going to sing it. But I would tell you this. You are ready. But when we say ready to play, I would tell you this more than anything else. Everybody in this room that is graduating has put in the time, has put in the effort. You have been taught and you have been put in an environment here at Grand Valley State that has given you the tools to be successful. You're prepared. It's about your preparation. It's not about necessarily what's out there. It's about your confidence in knowing that you can be put into the game because you are prepared. We shouldn't be fearful of failure at all. You should only be anticipating and excited about the opportunities that are out there for you. You've done the work. You're ready to go. Now let's go win the game. Congratulations and good luck to the class of 2019.
Great words, Coach. Thank you. At this time, I invite Board Chair Kramer and Provost Maria Cimitielli to join me for this presentation. Brian Kelly, Doctor of Humane Letters. Brian Kelly, your name is lauded at Grand Valley State University for your success in football and the generous sharing of your treasure. You came first to Allendale as an assistant football coach, a young man of endurance and promise. When the head coach's position became available, you were the university's first choice, and it soon became very apparent the best choice. In short order, you took the Lakers to success in the conference and then steadily to championship level play. In 2001, you took the Lakers to the national championship and then back national championship victories in 2002 and 2003. Together with your fellow coaches in all sports, you put Lakers on the map, where we've stayed ever since. Other schools beckoned, and soon you were the head coach at Central Michigan University and then University of Cincinnati, where you established, again, winning seasons. Today, in your 29th season as a head coach, you're now at the University of Notre Dame, and 3 times you've been named Coach of the Year. Your win-loss record is in the nation's top 3. You are often called a player's coach because of your belief that success on the field must be accompanied with academic success. Your sustained excellence on and off the field is exemplified by your integrity and your character in all that you do. Throughout your remarkable story, you have remembered Grand Valley, the place where you started your career, where you met your wife, Pocky, where your personal generosity has made possible the Kelly Family Sports Center, a facility that plays an important role in the success of so many student athletes. Now, therefore, by the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees, I hereby confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa, with all of its rights and privileges. Congratulations.